The film opens inside a neighborhood train which is going from London to Tunbridge. Many travelers are seen on board, and among them is our hero, Shayer, a specialist by profession. He is currently heading home with his little child, Max. It is revealed that Shayer's significant other died a long time ago, so he takes his child wherever he goes. Some other time, when he leaves his seat to answer a call, Max is approached by a fellow traveler named Sarah. Her seat is right next to theirs, so she tries to have a little chat with the kid. However, Max, being the awkward child that he is, accidentally knocks over her takeaway coffee mug. This causes Sarah's jacket to be soaked in coffee, and Shayer promptly arrives at the scene. He scolds his child and apologizes to Sarah for the inconvenience. He even offers to pay for the damages, but she politely declines, saying it's okay. Shayer gives his kid a little nod and a wink and says, "Good job, son." The two then engage in conversation and chat about various subjects. When Sarah learns that Shayer is a specialist, she is truly impressed. She keeps smiling at him and even plays with his child. It is evident that she has fallen for him from the start. After a while, Sarah gets busy on her phone, while Shayer starts reading a newspaper. Max, as usual, plays with his toy dinosaur and sneaks about the place. When he turns around, he sees a raucous-looking traveler named Jan. The man shows him a magic trick using a cigarette, but then scares him away with a grim expression. Soon after, the train conductor appears to check the tickets. Jan is casually smoking a cigarette inside the compartment, so he's ordered to put it out. However, he refuses and starts creating a scene. This angers several fellow travelers, and an elderly man named Peter even confronts him. Jan, who is clearly drunk, tries to intimidate the man by showing some clumsy kung fu moves. But when Peter doesn't budge, he reluctantly puts out his cigarette and heads to the hallway section. The scene then cuts to an hour later, and we see that a few travelers are remaining on the train. Shayer's attention is caught by an odd-looking man who is carrying a bike helmet. When the train stops at a station, he seemingly gets out, but then he returns, drinks a can of beer, and heads inside another compartment. Shayer stares at the individual for a while, but doesn't think much of it. Meanwhile, the conductor has finished checking all the tickets and is returning to his room, but when he reaches there, he's pulled inside by a mysterious figure. On the other hand, Max has finally fallen asleep, giving Sarah the opportunity to chat with Shayer. She wastes no time and starts flirting with him, even hinting that she's single. The naive specialist hesitates to come up with responses as he is quite nervous, but Sarah explains that he must get her a new coat as this one has been ruined by his child. She then writes her number on a piece of paper and hands it to him. Shayer happily accepts it and smiles back at her, suggesting that he is into Sarah. He might even want to conduct a procedure on her. After a few more stations, the train is almost empty, except for a handful of travelers. Shayer wakes up from a short nap and realizes that the train is stopped. He hears a hissing sound coming from outside, followed by an unknown person running away. Then, a loud bang is heard, and the train starts moving again. Shayer goes near the window and tries to see what's going on. To his complete shock, he witnesses a wounded man crawling through the tracks. Shayer immediately goes to the conductor's room to report the matter. Being a specialist himself, he can't bear seeing others in pain. But even after knocking on the door several times, the conductor doesn't respond. Hearing the commotion, a gentleman emerges from the VIP section, and he's none other than Peter. He warns Shayer not to knock on that door as it could lead to serious penalties. The chap explains that they need to urgently help a wounded man who's crawling on the tracks. But Peter doesn't think they can help. He simply returns to his room and shuts the door. Sometime later, the train finally reaches Tunbridge, and both Sarah and Shayer prepare to get off. As they say their goodbyes, she reminds him to call her and then gives him a kiss. Shayer is left dumbfounded by the kiss, but he becomes even more shocked when the train doesn't stop at Tunbridge. It keeps going at a normal speed without slowing down. Worried that something's wrong, Shayer continues to investigate while Sarah and Max join an old woman named Elaine. In the next scene, Shayer reaches outside the driver's room, which is barricaded by a metal door. Since he can't get in, he buzzes the radio and says he needs to go home urgently. For the first couple of minutes, no one answers. But then, the man asks how many passengers are remaining. Shayer is stunned by the response as he was hoping the driver would ask about his emergency. Nonetheless, he counts the remaining passengers and answers that there are 6 of them. When the driver hears this, he shuts the radio and speeds up. Shayer tries contacting him repeatedly, but to no avail. Following this, he heads to the conductor's room for answers. This time, he gets into an adjacent room where he finds the door open. He also finds the conductor's equipment and other stuff on the floor. This makes Shayer really worried as he realizes that something is off. Shortly after, Peter shows up and asks about the matter. Shayer tells him that the train hasn't stopped and is instead moving at a faster speed. At first, Peter doesn't believe him and simply asks him to return to his seat. But when the train doesn't stop at his station either, he starts panicking. The two men then begin pulling all the emergency brakes one after another. Yet, not a single one of them can dial back the train by even a bit. Shayer then checks the train's measurements and, incredibly, finds that the brakes have no air pressure in them, which is why the emergency brakes are not working right now. Soon, the troublemaker from earlier, Jan, also joins them. He asks what's happening, and Shayer explains that about an hour prior, when the train was stopped, he heard a hissing sound followed by a man running away. Peter, who knows a lot about mechanics, quickly realizes that someone released the air to disable the brakes. This sets everyone in a panic, and they start considering ways to stop the train. Shayer knows that every train has two control rooms, one at the front and the other at the back. Since the front one is occupied by the mysterious driver, they go to the other one. The door is luckily open, and they promptly start searching for a potential solution. At this point, Peter appears again and tries to stop them. He says that he has already contacted the police, so they should just wait instead of tampering with these dangerous controls. He believes that the police will cut the power to this train, which will allow them to slowly stop. However, Shayer reveals that this is a diesel train, so there is no way someone from outside can stop it. This only means one thing: their fate is in their hands now. The entire group then keeps looking until they find a handbrake. Normally, these brakes are used when a train is stationary, so it doesn't roll over. But since they have no other options, they decide to pull it. Shayer and Jan step up and pull the lever vigorously. The plan initially works, and the train starts slowing down. But then the driver finds out about this and speeds up, foiling their efforts. Later, as the group is trying to find other solutions, the train strikes a car at a level crossing, killing all its occupants instantly. This panics the elderly woman, Elaine, so much that she goes into cardiac arrest. Shayer quickly gets into action and starts performing chest compressions. He also tries various other ways to revive her, but to no avail. The poor woman dies on the spot, leaving everyone heartbroken. But the group has no time to mourn as they need to stop the train pronto. Jan suggests that they tear open the control room's door, to which Shayer agrees. The two men then get weapons and start beating at the thick door. Luckily, Shayer manages to break the glass, and he helps inside through that. When he reaches the other side, he is left in complete shock. He finds the conductor's dead body, confirming his suspicion that the train has been hijacked. Now, the only thing separating him from the driver is another metal door. Shayer uses a blunt object and pounds at it repeatedly, but the door is too strong to be broken. To make matters worse, the driver sounds a booming horn, forcing everyone to retreat back to their compartment. As they plan their next move, Peter reveals that several decades ago, a similar incident occurred. Someone hijacked a train and drove it into a wall, killing many passengers. He fears that the mysterious driver is planning to do something like that again. The group then speculates that at this speed, they will reach the last station in around 30 minutes. This means that they must act quickly, or all of them will die. With time running out, Jan suggests that he will head outside and uncouple the carriages. It is a hazardous mission, as any mistake at this speed could lead to death, but it is their only chance, so he will try. The rest of the group then wishes him good luck, and Shayer opens the door. Jan slowly goes outside in the cold weather and gets to work, but due to the slippery surface, he slips, making him hold on for dear life. That happens when you let the drunk guy do the daredevil stunt. Luckily, before he can fall to his death, Shayer grabs his hand and somehow pulls him back. Now, the group has around 10 minutes before the train reaches its last station. Shayer will risk everything, so he comes up with a daring idea. He plans to use a fire extinguisher to blow up the floorboards, which will allow them to uncouple the carriages from inside. After gathering the supplies, Shayer instructs Sarah and Max to go to the other side as it will be safer there. He then lights the improvised bomb, and it soon detonates. The plan fortunately works, and the floorboards are destroyed. Shayer wastes no time and tries to uncouple the carriages manually, but the surface is too hot due to the explosion. At this critical moment, Peter shows up at the scene with a lever. Shayer then goes to the other side and the two men use all their strength to unscrew the bolt. They eventually manage to do it, and the carriage is separate. But Peter loses his balance and falls to his death. Seeing this, Shayer is devastated. But he's in a tight spot himself as the fire prevents him from getting to the other side. With the carriages slowly drifting apart, he instructs Yan to pull the handbrake. The latter obliges, and he immediately rushes to the control room where Max and Sarah are present. The adults then pull the handbrake vigorously, and the train finally stops. On the other hand, Shayer is still not out of danger as his carriage is engulfed in flames. He becomes even more worried when he realizes that he's covered in kerosene. This means that it's only a matter of time before he catches fire. So, without any options left, Shayer prays to God and jumps out of the moving compartment. In the final scene, we see the entire group lying beside the tracks. Shayer is severely injured, but he will make it. The film closes as the police finally arrive to help.